Welcome to Glitch Please, the show where we talk all about video games. I'm Brian, your host.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jen.
Welcome, Jen. Is this your first Glitch Please?
This is my first Glitch Please.
Hey.
Very excited. All right, that felt a little sarcastic and I don't appreciate it.
Real clap. That's how I clap.
That's not how you really clap.
It's really how I clap.
Well, I'm sorry about your elbows.
Learned it from Galaxy Quest? Is that what I clap in Galaxy Quest? Maybe. Anyways.
So we're doing this a few days before Smash releases.
Smash.
So that's kind of a bummer because we don't have it yet to talk about. But
we'll need to definitely get like Nick on to talk about that game.
Yes.
And maybe Chad.
Definitely.
Chad's into that stuff.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna do.
I'm into that stuff too, but whatever.
Oh, I didn't know. Listen, you've never been on here. I don't know your gaming preferences.
We're still learning about you.
This is true. This is very true. I'll let it slide this time.
Are you a Smash player?
I would not consider myself competitive, but I play the hell out of some Smash.
Okay.
It is my jam.
I played it. Have y'all seen that documentary, The Smash Brothers? It's like 1 million parts. It's on YouTube about like the Melee scene. It is so fucking good.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's about just sort of how Melee started and how the scene grew up around it. I'm not even like a huge Smash person, but like I was enthralled. So
I've watched a lot of like angry Smash people at tournaments, like a lot of like people using the Icebreakers move or Ice Climbers move, and people getting mad at that.
Like because they're cheesing.
People get so angry about the Ice Climbers.
That shows you how into Smash I
angry.
am. I like playing Smash, but I don't know anything about it or the competitive scene.
People get mad, at any kind of thing. Like I played StarCraft 2 a lot, and if you started cheesing, I had one cheese move that I could do. I would make all my Banshees invisible and sort of sneak them around, blow up somebody's base. People always would just get furious. Yeah. And I made it all the way up to Diamond doing
Would you consider like a Zerg Rush cheesy?
Not really, because like if you defend, like then it's not gonna work. You know, I mean, yes, I guess technically it's a cheat because it's kind of like an all-in move.
Right.
Like either it's going to work or it's not. Or you build something close to the opponent's base and try to cheat. So yeah, I mean, kind of.
I feel like anytime I've gotten Zerg Rushed and not lost, I'll just send all my probes out.
Yes.
And go try to finish the job.
Yeah, exactly. Counterattack. People get mad at me on Hearthstone because I like aggro decks. Just stuff that attacks really quickly. And but it's like it's not like I'm cheating, like I'm still abiding by the rules of the game.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the weird thing about cheesing a lot of moves in all kinds of games is it's a part of the game, and you are just playing a different play style that most people who do something more well-rounded can't deal with those extremes, and I think that's why they get so mad. Is they're prepared for I don't want to say the average player, but they're traditional like regular kind of players. So if you're going to come in and hammer hard, they are not prepared for that, and that's why they get so mad. Is
because you're just caught off guard.
You found the hole in their strategy, and that's what makes it so bad.
There's cheesing in everything, like chess. You know the move where you send out your queen super early and try to mate him in like 3 moves, like that's
the
kind
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your favorite video game cheese?
I would probably that StarCraft 2 move where it was something I forget exactly, but you would make these sort of jets called Banshees, and you would skill them up to where they could be invisible, and you would sneak 3 of them over, and your opponent just wouldn't be ready, so they couldn't see it, and then just start bombing and wiping out their forces, because it would just make people so mad.
That's great.
How about yours?
Well, Dark Souls definitely has some cheese that is like not kosher.
Yeah.
If you're invading someone in Dark Souls, you have the advantage in like every way. First off, you have nothing to lose.
Right.
Second off, if you're losing the fight and you feel like, oh, maybe I'll just be a dickhead, you can literally just run into the enemies, and the enemies won't attack you, but they'll attack the other players.
Oh.
So like, I don't. This happens to me a lot where, like, people will invade and then decide, like, oh, this is not a good fight for me, so they'll just peace out and just wait for you, and they can wait for you forever. Like, and you can just like, you can be like, okay, well, either you disconnect or you move on and like start fighting enemies, and then the moment you start fighting enemies, they'll run in and start killing you.
Yep.
So it's not my favorite cheese, but it's definitely the one I've experienced the most.
Yeah.
Jen?
Yeah, Jen.
Going back to Smash, we had a rule in my house that nobody could play Kirby anymore because my sister and I got really good at doing that really cool move where you would suck somebody up in your mouth and go off the edge of the map.
Oh, yeah.
And then bail at the last second so you could save yourself and they couldn't do anything about it.
Yep.
It's a great move.
Oh, another one I hate back in the Street Fighter 2 days, and I guess you could probably still do this, but with Guile, you would do the Sonic Boom, and then if they jumped over that to try to get you, you flip kick them. So, and you could sort of beat bad opponents, and I was the bad opponent that always lost to that, and I would get so fucking mad. But it's not really cheese, it's just like easy. Yeah, it's just sort of a very basic counter. Yeah. But I hated that. All right, more current stuff. What is everybody playing?
I have not been playing much.
Yep.
I had my dad came to visit, so pretty much I've just been playing Pokemon Let's Go.
Yep.
A couple clarifications, or a couple corrections, I should say. I said that you couldn't get a bike and that you couldn't go any faster. That's not true.
Okay.
I did find Pokemon that you can ride on that will go faster than
a
normal
bike?
walking speed. Yeah.
I like that you're doing corrections.
I feel like I'm progressing.
This is good, yeah.
Yeah, I'll still stand by the fact that the game is too easy.
Yes, definitely.
But it's still super fun and nostalgic. And Grace decided that she would trade me her Mew because she had him in the Pokebox.
Oh my God!
And she didn't want him, and she said, "I know how much you love Mew." And so she traded me Mew, and now he's my main Pokemon.
That's true love
So
right
nice.
there. That's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, I feel like Pokemon Let's Go, it feels like a little bit of a like test for whatever they're gonna make next. You know, like it feels like a little bit of a proof of concept.
Yeah, I'm still really, really curious to see what changes or if there are major changes. I know that we're expecting them, but like, you never know. They haven't really changed the formula at all.
No.
in the past, so we'll see. I got my dad. So my dad used to be he used to fly F-14 Tomcats.
Holy shit.
So he's cool. He's a cool guy.
Thank you for your service, Adam's dad.
So I like Elite a lot. It has like a VR headset. Or I use a VR headset. I use my sub pack. I use my HOTAS, and I've always thought like that's really immersive. So I wanted to get my dad to try it.
Yeah.
And so I threw him in the rig, and I was like, "Go ahead and play." And he was like immediately like. It was fucking awesome. That's him playing right now.
That's great.
Fantastic. Pardon the mess. It was just it was a quick. I threw it all together because I didn't have it all set up.
Is he good at flying games, given his experience really flying?
He used to play like a lot of Fighters Anthology.
Okay.
And old flight sims back then. Like he was the person that got me like a flight stick, and when I got into like Rogue, like he would play flight sims, I would play games like Rogue Squadron.
Okay.
So this was a fun getting back into little flight games with my dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, man, there's some games. I played a little more Divinity 2. That game is still fantastic. I'll have to report back when I get further into it, but
that's next for me because of what you said last week about it.
You should definitely co-op with people if you can. It's definitely it is one of those games that like it's better if you co-op.
Yeah.
That said, when you start a co-op campaign, you can't just take your one character and go off into another campaign. Like that character is tied to your co-op character for your friends' characters. So either you're going to play without them and all their characters, or you're not playing unless you're with them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So other than that, man, a new game came out called X4 Foundations. I haven't played it yet, but it's on my list. Have you seen that at all? Looks like it's like a space sim, but you can get as micro as like just controlling a spaceship and going out and doing shooting guys and stuff like that, or you can get as macro as like controlling a whole fleet.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks awesome. So that's on my list. Let me know if you guys like that game. Also, Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden came out. Longest name ever. Looks really fantastic. Haven't played it. Looks like XCOM though.
Have you? Has anybody played? What was the newest one? Darksiders 3. That's probably the. I haven't touched it yet.
I don't know if I think we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
How disappointing it looks.
I know. I'm sure it has some defenders, but yeah, I haven't touched it yet.
Yeah.
Jen, what's up?
So I do this cool thing where I play games way after they're cool. I'm that far back in my backlog. I'm still spending a lot of time in Hollow Knight. I love the hell.
I'm playing that too.
I love the hell out of that game. Yeah. Everyone play this. Whatever game ready to look at. Play Hollow Knight. Do yourself a favor. It is one of my favorite games that ever.
I am stuck in that game.
Why are you
I'm stuck in. I fell down into I think it's a crystal area.
Okay.
And I cannot get out of it, and I'd want to get out of it so I can keep playing it, but I keep dying.
I will admit that that's kind of the weirdest part of the area. You can hit that way earlier than you should, and it's easy to end up just in a place where there's really only one way out of it.
I cannot get out.
It's
this area, I think.
Yeah, I just saw it. Like, I love this game so much that before the Godmaster DLC dropped, I 107%ed the game, and then was still not ready to be done with it, so I started learning how to speedrun it. Like, that's how much I love this game, is I wanted to find new ways to keep playing
That's awesome.
It is. I know Metroidvania gets thrown around a lot. It is a real fucking Metroidvania.
Yes, it absolutely is.
It clearly is inspired by that style, but adds its own twist to it. I'm playing it right now on the Switch too, and I just hit my favorite part of these kind of games when you can finally upgrade your weapon.
Yes.
So I got my nail upgraded twice, and now it's like, okay, I feel I can see some results, and I can, jump up on walls, and I've learned, I've got a few moves under my belt, and so I don't feel quite as squishy as I was.
I love it that you start off perfectly capable, but you're able to customize so much of how your character fights based on what you upgrade, which abilities you actually find. There's very few that are actually required.
Right.
How you handle all of the, I love the charm system for that reason, is that you can say, okay, well, I really want some more defense, or I want to not get knocked back as far, I want to knock enemies back farther, or I would love to be able to, if I get attacked, if I get hit, then some spiky thorns come out and attack whatever's around me. Like, you can customize based on, do I get hit a lot? Do I like to hit a lot? Do I want to play more defensive? And you can really, really build your character with that.
Yeah, the upgrade system is kind of like Nier Automata, where it's like you have a certain amount of space, and you just plug in as whatever upgrades you want, and it's up to you. So you can plug in more armor, you can boost your offense, and I like it a lot too.
Is there like a guide you would recommend for like you can go to any areas you want to, kind of, or most of the areas, or a lot of the areas, and you can kind of, like you said, go to the wrong areas too early. Is there a recommended like path of progression or guide you would follow?
I can certainly look for a guide for you. I didn't use one. I was able to. I use the map a lot, so I made a point of, I don't know where to go. Okay, I can kind of. I inferred some certain things from the story it gives you. I like how it gives you the story, where there's text, but a lot of things are implied just through the visuals, which is, I like that it doesn't shove the story down your throat.
I was going to say, there's a story.
Yeah.
I know you're in this world.
Oh my gosh, yes. It is, once you start getting into it, there's a secondary weapon, I guess I'll call it, that you pick up, and that's kind of where the story opens up, and it goes, okay, here's what you're doing, here's why you're here. Okay. And then things kind of open from there, and then as you go and defeat the bosses that opens up, they kind of tell you some things, and it's one of those games that you can finish it without actually gathering the story. Yeah. But if you talk to some people, if you go to certain shops, just while you're interacting with them, they'll drop little hints of things. And
I love when games do that. I mean, Dark Souls is famous for doing it.
Yes.
You could explore the lore as much or as little as you wanted, and people will say things, but it feels like you're in this world, and it's kind of up to you to get up to speed with it, because things are going on with or without you.
Yeah, this Hollow Knight is very, very much like that. So I got stuck in an area at one point. There's a really, really creepy area that gives you nightmares a little bit, and there's two ways into it, and one of them is only a one-way entrance, and I fell into it, and then I spent 2 hours panicking, because I'm like, I can't see, and there's creepy things,
I think I
noises.
Is it the area where you cannot see anything? It's all black? Yeah, I think I went, I was like, no, I'm out. I'm going.
It was there's two areas that are super dark, because there's, at one point, you can buy a lantern, so that way things aren't super dark, but I was just kind of exploring. I knew where to go next, but I was like, I want to see if I can find other charms, and I just kind of was like, oh, what's over here? Oh, that door is closed. I'm gonna walk over here, and then the floor just gives out under you, and I was like, oh no.
This is bad, especially if you have like a lot of geo.
Yes.
And you're like, fuck, I've got to be careful and get my way back to civilization.
I tried. I sat there. I fell into this area, and I very quickly realized, I'm going to die here. I'm going to lose everything, and I will never find it again. Right. I was like, when was the last time I saved? Can I just quit out? And I was like, oh, I haven't seen a bench in a very long time. Because it's one of those games you only have specific places that you can save at. So you can't just be like, oh, well, I'll just save before I go in here, and we'll see what happens. Like, there is a price for failure, which I like that there's a price for failure, but it's not so punishing that you're like, this is unfair. You can fix it.
It's the Dark Souls thing. You
yeah,
lose all your currency, and you have like one chance to get it, and then.
Yeah, and I do like that. It's like I will admit I've not played Dark Souls. I do like that in Hollow Knight you have the option of I can go back to where I died and collect my geo, get my soul back. Or there is, I guess I'll call them a shopkeeper up in the main town that she takes a very specific item, and if you give her that, she will call your geo and your soul up to you there. Cool. So you don't have to. So if I died in Deep Nest, it wouldn't have been the worst thing that happened. Right. It's like, cool, I will just go back to her to get my stuff back. No, I do not want to go there again for a while, and it's not. I didn't permanently lose those things for a mistake.
You can preemptively like not lose your souls in Dark Souls by wearing a specific ring, but once you drop them, if you don't go back for them, they're lost. Yeah, so I like that there's another option, so that way you're not completely screwed by it, because the game is difficult. It is absolutely difficult, but fairly so. And
I do like that paying a price for death, but not a big one, because you know, in the old school days, if you died, the game would start over. So it was like, but it was so brutal. But yeah, I like this. Like, well, you're screwed, but it's fine. Like, it's nothing a few
failure
hours
doesn't mean you're starting completely over. It's like you have a setback, you're frustrated, but you've also learned something from it at the same time. There is a boss in the middle that I spent a very, very long time on, and it is the biggest hang-up when I try to do the speed run, is going there. I actually go out of my way to get a nail upgrade to make that part easier.
Which boss is it?
The Watcher Knights. There's 6 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you walk into a room like, oh, there's a bunch of corpses in the back. They're coming alive. Okay, this is fine. There's just 2 of them. Oh, there's more? All right, I guess I'm gonna be here for a while. Oh, I'm dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it as much of a mental hang-up as it is a like difficulty hang-up? Because I know I have those in games where like I'll get to a boss and I'm like, God damn it, not this.
Yeah, I think there's definitely that. Like I'll be outside the room and I'll kind of psych myself and be like, okay, I'm gonna do it this time. It's like 3 shots and I'll get it. Oh yeah, these stupid guys. Yeah, they're terrible. I call it their roly-poly bullshit. They'll just roll into a ball, and they'll either come sailing straight across the floor, or they'll bounce.
And they're like invincible.
So if you try to jump, you'll get bounced into.
Yeah, and so you don't know which one they're gonna do. And their behavior has changed in different patches of the game, which is the other thing too. So as they realized that there may be weird things about the AI, I think they tried to fix it. So if you're used to playing a particular way, and then there's an update that came with the DLC, now they're different. So like when I run, I actually play on an older patch because I know what their AI is going to do to a certain degree. Like I know the unpredictability of it, but it got to a point where if they're ever off screen, they will just dart at you. And then there's other ones where maybe they'll roll. And since there's 2 of them, they might do 2 different things. So there's not a safe place for you to be. And this is a brutal fight.
I'll probably give this. I have a 15-hour flight on Friday, so I'll probably give this a little bit more of a shot and see if I can get out of that damn. If you can send me like a picture of where you are on the map, I will help you. I will make sure you get out of there because I want you to experience the rest of the game. Because I think it is definitely worth it. I love the story of it. I like that this is a game that has multiple endings.
I didn't know.
Yeah, there's multiple endings to it, and there's a particular item that you collect that will change that course of which endings you get. So it is possible to lock yourself out of one of the endings if you get the item before you finished it. So I tell everybody when they get to the point where like, okay, cool, I've done all this, I can go to the final boss. I'm like, all right, hey, PSA for everybody if you haven't played Hollow Knight. There is an item that is broken into 2 pieces. Beat the game before you get the second piece.
Oh, okay.
And then, but it's one of those games that after you beat it, like you can go back in and still search for things. So like beat it, now go get the second piece, do the rest of it, and now you have 2 more endings available to you. And then the Godmaster DLC actually added a 4th ending, which I will never see because that shit's hard.
Was that free DLC? Or
yeah,
was it...
all their DLC was free. It was really awesome. Yeah, I love indie devs too. Like that is
just for stuff like that.
Yeah, my go-to for a lot of things is I'm a big indie player. I don't play a lot of AAA stuff, and part of it is because so much of it is massively open world and shooters, and it's like, and I don't have the attention span for the open world. And I'm just bad at shooters. I just am. And
I am too.
And I just accept that.
Yeah.
So I play a lot of indie games that are very puzzle-based and story-based. I love a lot of the graphic novel style games. I love the Danganronpa series. I played the hell out of that. Yeah. So, because I'm like, this is story, it's a puzzle, it's a mystery, it's
Celeste was like, did you play that? Was so
game
good.
was hard.
Yes, incredibly hard.
Also, but to have it based around most platformers like that are sort of jump based, but it's based around the dash mechanic. And yeah, it's so. But by the end, you're like bouncing off stuff in the air. Like I feel like a champion.
You feel incredible by the time you kind of like settle into that groove of cool. This is how I can chain these things together, and here's how this goes.
Yeah.
Did you do any of the B or C sides? That game hard.
No.
Yeah, I did most of the B sides.
And once I was done, I was so proud of myself. I didn't go back for more strawberries.
Yeah,
to make
no,
the
screw
pie.
the strawberries.
No, fuck all that. But I felt so proud that I had just finished it, and a good story I thought was engrossing, and the soundtrack to this was so. Sometimes I'll just listen to it at work, like it's on Spotify. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Man, playing this game on a plane, it's hard not to get angry in your seat.
Yes.
Like,
Are you playing Hollow Knight on Switch? Speaking of,
I'm actually playing it on PC because that's one of the few games that I played shortly after it came out. So I've been doing it. I've been doing it on PC, but I know a lot of people who tried to play it on PC couldn't get into it, and then it came out on Switch, and they're like, "Oh, something about this being in this format, I can do this now."
I played it more on Switch than PC because I had it on both.
Yeah. It's the portable aspect of it I like.
I think
so
that
I can watch
helps.
a show, I can kind of do something else while I'm playing it. Well, that's cool. Now you've inspired me to play more Hollow Knight.
Good. This is like my one-man crusade of everyone needs to play Hollow Knight. Please, everyone try it.
Well, speaking of big AAA games, I'm finally going back and playing Spider-Man. I had not sort of like fully gotten into it. Yeah, it's super fun. It's maybe up there like Game of the Year area for me. It's I feel like with open worlds, I get the same way. Sometimes I get bored, or it's just, okay, you're just doing an open world. But with this one, it kind of passes my test for these games. If I just want to like explore that world and like do stuff not on the main quest line, then I know that for me, it's a good open world game. And for Spider-Man, it's just fun stopping crimes. It's just fun to go around and take care of whatever's going on.
I feel like that game I kind of just did like one or two of each type of side mission, and then I did the main story for the most part. And then afterwards, I went back and started doing most of the side stuff. That game the side stuff is a little bit repetitive once you just do it back to back to back. But if you do spread it out, then it's kind of more tolerable. But man, that story is so good in that game.
And just they have such a great carrot for you in the form of new suits.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck, I just want to get them all. I didn't think I would be into the new suits as much as but like it totally changes your whole look, and it's just fun. And he's I like him as older Peter Parker. I think it's like 7 or 8 years after he's like become Spider-Man. So he knows what he's doing, and he's, he's a known quantity in New York now. And that's a lot of fun. He's a lot more wisecracky, which to me, I think that's an important part of Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson being this obnoxious talk radio host is fucking great.
Yeah, he's like Glenn Beck.
Yeah, exactly. Just this sort of dickhead populist.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is. It's so much fun. I think Dragon Quest XI is probably still my #1, but this is like so good. So I like that a lot. I also started playing Tetris Effect.
People love that game.
That's on my list.
Yes, it's like taking a bunch of acid and playing Tetris, and I mean that in the best way possible. Like I didn't think they could like freshen up Tetris, but like the visuals and the music, and it'll kind of fuck with the game a little bit. Like the visuals will kind of obscure, like just for a second, like just to mess you up a little bit. And then there's like a quest mode. I'm not like super deep into it, but there's like a quest line you can do in like a single player. And it's just fun. I mean, it's Tetris. It's great, but it's I've loved Tetris since like the original toaster Game Boy.
Is this Tetris Effect?
Yeah, it's VR. It's VR too, if you want. Yeah.
Jellyfish?
And
what is this?
The music is insane.
Is this actual gameplay?
Yeah.
Or is this just like a screen?
No, well, yeah.
Where's the game?
I don't know where I don't know if this is like an intro or what.
Okay,
I haven't
all right.
started
I thought
yet.
it was like
no, there's a traditional Tetris.
I was like, this is so This is so updated.
The blobs are the Tetris blocks.
This is very obscure.
You're right. I feel like I dropped a lot of acid.
Yeah,
it's
like it's like playing a video game on drugs.
Is this on Switch or is it like PS4?
PS4.
Okay.
I think it I'm not sure if it's.
I thought it was a PlayStation exclusive.
It might be.
Okay.
Which because I think I was excited.
PSVR,
yeah.
so.
I think I was excited to play it and then realized it was PlayStation exclusive and went, okay, like I have a PlayStation, but now like it's just an extra step I have to go through for. I usually play on PC. Like PC is my go-to for most of my gaming. So if it's on a console, I have to go, do I really want to play this? Because then I gotta like make sure I sit down over here, have this stuff set. Do I have batteries and all my things?
I believe it's PS4.
It is a PS4 only game.
Gotcha.
Perfect.
And it's
I
VR.
didn't make it up.
There's some rumblings that it might be a timed exclusive and eventually it'll come to PC.
That would be so good.
But for now, it's PS4 only.
Okay.
Tetris is just one of those games I can play and I can just like lose hours and hours and hours to. And the new Hearthstone expansion, Rusticon's Rumble, just came out. I'm just sort of starting. Like the meta's sort of in a flux right now. So everybody's trying to find like the newest decks, and I've got like the Spell Hunter that's doing really good, and so it's always good to find like one thing that like works really well until everybody figures it out. But that's fine. And I just started. It just got ported for the Switch, Civilization 6. And portable Civ is so much fucking fun, speaking of time sinks. So that's been good. I haven't played one since Civ 1. So
I have
changed a lot.
I have never played a Civ game, but I have had multiple people tell me that I should. Sell me on it, Brian.
Do you like strategy games
I do.
at all? You have to at least try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so. I think I played one game of Civ, and it took so long.
They're so complicated now.
Oh my god.
Yeah. My last big Civ game was MS-DOS Civ. But it is like there's so many like variables you have to account for. Which civilization you're gonna play as. The tutorial for it is 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
So
it's good to know.
But it's just one of those games you can.
It's like a level of commitment you have to have.
Okay,
sort of game.
that is good to know. Before I'm like, I'm just gonna casually sit down and see what this is about, and then find myself 4 hours later going, I just wanted to try it real quick.
Right. It's like Dwarf Fortress where you have to learn. There's like a whole wiki you need to.
There's nice hexagons.
Yeah. They moved to the hex gameplay a while back, but. It's super fun. And the fact just on a Switch, like a portable.
Yeah.
That's kind of my preferred. Like if it can run on the Switch decently, I'm probably gonna choose that.
So I tried to look up some stats on how long your average game of Civ lasts. This is from 5 years ago, but the majority of people said an average game takes between 8 and 13 hours to play.
Oh my god.
That sounds right. Remember, I think this was an older Civ, but a guy had been playing it for a decade or something. Like he had the same game, and the world was just like just a wasteland. Like people would like nuked each other repeatedly. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's impressive. If I had that level of dedication to literally anything, that would be fantastic.
Right. I know.
Yeah, I always want to be into those sort of games. Like people that play Dwarf Fortress for 5,000 hours. Like, yes, I want that, but I don't have the attention span.
There was a guy that played Civ 2 for almost 10 years.
That's it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it was. He posted a thing on Reddit about 10 years later. Here's what the world looks like, and it was just a mess. But yeah, I admire that dedication.
The results are as follows: the world is a hellish nightmare of suffering and devastation. There are 3 remaining supernations in the year 3991 AD, each competing for the scant resources left on the planet after dozens of nuclear wars have rendered vast swaths of the world uninhabitable wastelands.
Yeah. Which I feel like is what real life will be.
Can you imagine just losing that save one day? That would suck.
Oh God. Yeah. That's one of those where his little sibling will film him freaking out about it and post it and go viral. Yeah. Oh my God. The front line hasn't moved in almost 1,000 years. Yeah.
Jeez.
So yeah, Civ 6, it's a lot of fun. All right, so that is what we're playing. Let's get to the quiz portion of the show. But first, let's talk about MeUndies, guys. This episode of Glitch Please, it's brought to you by MeUndies. Have you finished your holiday shopping yet? No worries. You can get everything you need for you and your loved ones at MeUndies. I recently got some MeUndies. They make like adult onesies that like are so comfortable. I just want to live in them. They feel so good. MeUndies uses the coveted micromodal fabric, which is 3 times softer than cotton. It was pretty soft, come to think of it. If you've never felt this fabric, get ready to experience pure bliss in underwear form. You also can get a style that's perfectly suited for you or a special someone. Men and women can each choose from 4 different cuts, all of which are available from classic colors to adventurous prints. Seriously, these fun undies would make a great stocking stuffer, but why stop at undies? They got way more. Like I just said, they got onesies, they got cozy lounge pants. I got some lounge pants too. They're sweet. And onesies in that same super soft fabric. Perfect for wearing Christmas morning or whatever holiday you celebrate. You know, MeUndies doesn't discriminate. MeUndies has a great offer for our viewers. For any first-time purchasers, when you purchase any MeUndies, you get 15% off and free shipping. Order by December 16th for free shipping in time for Christmas. To get your 15% off your first pair, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/glitch. That's MeUndies.com/glitch. All right. Let's do quiz, please. So Jen, you're new. We do a little thing called quiz, please, where I ask each of you 5 questions. Whoever gets the most wins. It's very easy. These are all ripped from the news headlines. I believe Adam won.
Nope, I lost.
Oh, no, Nick.
I'm a loser.
Don't worry, I'll make up for it.
Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Adam's going to go first. Okay.
Question, has anybody ever gotten 0?
John came close.
Okay.
But
Wow.
I don't think
Of course
he got
he did.
0.
Cool.
John.
I'm gonna be the first one, we'll see.
Okay.
He gives you multiple choice, don't worry.
You'd be surprised, man.
Not this time. No multiple choice.
Great. Now you lied to me. Perfect, thank you.
Jen, question 1.
I thought Adam was going first.
Oh, Adam, sorry. Adam, question 1. What's the best-selling VR headset so
PlayStation
far
VR.
this year? That's right, man. SuperData just came out with like a ranking of the VR headsets so far in 2018. PSVR #1 sold 1.3 million.
It's the most accessible one, and that makes sense. It was selling for like $200 on Black Friday.
Yep.
It goes with a $300 console instead of a $1,000 gaming PC.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily perform the best in terms of how it looks and everything, but it certainly has a great library. They just came out with a game called Astro Bot VR. People are going crazy for it. Like,
really?
Everyone I've heard talk about it.
What is it?
This is amazing. It's the Astro Bot, which is like a little PlayStation VR. Or I think it's PlayStation VR. It's a PlayStation,
Oh yeah, the little thing.
PlayStation little robot guy. But they made a game around him, and it's an adventure game or sort of an action adventure game, and it looks really cool. I haven't got a chance to play it because I don't have a PSVR.
People are going crazy. Yeah, it's getting like, there's a site, Road to VR says it's the first VR game that gave them, that they scored a 10 out of 10.
It looks great.
Well, I want to try it now. So how does it compare to like better VR rigs? Have you played them both?
Yeah, I mean, I love the actual unit, like the way it goes on your head is very comfortable. Visually, I feel like it's a little bit more screen doory. It was a little more choppy. I played it in like Resident Evil VR, and it wasn't exactly as smooth as something like a Vive or an Oculus, but it's still totally serviceable.
Yeah.
I think the biggest complaint was that tracking can sometimes be a little wonky.
Okay.
Because they use just the old PS Move camera.
Okay.
So
it's just like an entry point into VR.
Yeah, but I think for most people it's totally serviceable, and honestly, for $200 I probably would have bought one had I felt like it. But
yeah.
Yeah,
next was Oculus Go, which was close to it actually, 1.1 million, and then Samsung Gear VR sold 600,000. So, at any rate, yes, good year. I guess it doesn't feel like VR is fully caught on, but this feels like as close as it's gotten yet.
I was playing it the other night, and it was like pulling out all the cables and setting the lighthouses. I was like, this is kind of a hassle, but I still think that when a generation of VR comes out that has just like good screen clarity and good picture clarity, it doesn't even have to be like a full panoramic FOV. Like, if it just looks clearer, I think that will sell it for me. And I think wireless is already there.
Wireless, it seems like when you could just put the headset on and go.
Yeah, but there's definitely, I'm still on board with VR. I think it's still amazing and fun, and like, especially in games like flight sims where you have like so fully immersive with like a hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. I played Resident Evil, the VR one, 5, I think, VR? 7.
Scary.
And almost threw up.
Oh.
Just because of like motion sick.
Oh, dude, yeah, that is definitely a problem for people.
Yeah.
A lot of people get super motion sick. The first time I did artificial locomotion in VR, I like nearly fell over.
Oh,
like I was just standing there and I pushed up on the D-pad and I was like, oh my God! But now it's like, I think you get your VR legs because I don't have any of that. You lose some of the immersion too. Like I used to get like sort of queasy looking over the edge of stuff, and now it's just, it's fun. It just doesn't give you that same effect.
Right.
So cherish that.
All right. Next question for Adam. Rockstar says it will fix the Red Dead Online economy after fans called it too grindy. They also noticed some weird price differences in the game, like the fact that a gold wedding ring was worth less than
Beans.
what? Yes, a can of beans.
I actually knew that one.
Which it feels like even in the nice graphic there, guys. It feels like even in the Old West in 1899, you could, I mean, sure, beans you could eat, but I feel like a gold wedding ring would fetch a higher price.
You would think.
But yes, it is. There's been some complaints that you're having to, guns cost more. I think there's that Mauser pistol that costs like 4 times as much in the online.
Someone posted like the starter pistol, they painted it black, and it was going to cost them like, I want to say like 12 gold bars.
What?
And someone did the math on how much time that would have taken. It was like 90 hours. It's like 12 hours per gold bar or whatever, something like that. And it's insanity. I think I was gonna load it up last night, and I decided that I would just wait until I got back from my trip to see what changes they made. And I might even wait longer than that. I might wait until like the economy is kind of normal and people are complaining a little less, because it seems like there's still some growing pains there. Yeah.
Do you feel like Rockstar knew what it was doing though? Like it's just trying to test you. Like how much will you put up with? Oh, okay, you know what? Okay, all right. We'll dial it back a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, judging by, people still complain about similar things in GTA Online.
Right.
So I don't think it's going to change all that much. I mean, they know that people will play it and pay money for it. Like, once all the dust settles and people stop complaining, they're still going to make money off of it. So
totally.
Yeah.
Next question, Adam, a perfect 2 out of 2 so far. Rocksteady has denied rumors that it's making a video game based on what superhero?
Talked about it last week, Superman.
Fuck.
Superman, we talked about what it would be like and what we wanted from it, and all that is null and void.
I have no
Sorry.
I have no short-term memory. I'm kind of bummed though. I wish this was true. I feel like
I could use a new superhero game, and Superman's pretty fun.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I was watching that Captain Marvel trailer, and I was like, man, she's just kind of like more modern and cooler Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really know much about Captain Marvel, but that trailer certainly made her seem like she had a lot of shit going on.
She's
like a ton of powers, dude.
I think she's, like way more powerful, right, than even the strongest Avenger. I think
it seems like she does everything.
Right. She's in space, like, just firing blasts out of her hands. Like, I don't think there's a lot of Avengers that can do that.
Yeah.
Okay, next question, 3 out of 3. The creator of Stardew Valley says he's going to do what with his game moving forward?
Not publish under, or he's going to publish independently. I can't remember who he was publishing under.
That is correct. Yeah. Yes, Chucklefish.
Chucklefish.
They're still going to handle, I think, the Switch port,
yes,
and the mobile stuff, because I think an Android version is coming out. But yes, Eric Barone said, "Thank you very much. I learned a lot. Now I'm going to do it myself."
I hope that doesn't mean that he didn't make as much money as he deserved making that game.
Oh, like he got a shitty cut.
Yeah. I really, really fucking hope that's
I do too. Yeah, because you hear like a lot of the times, like but like bands, they sign that first deal when they are nobodies and then they don't make shit.
Right.
And,
right.
Yeah, I hope you're right. Do right by him, Chucklefish.
Gosh darn it, yes.
He made it. Like he made it himself.
Stardew was great.
It was great. Last question. The developer of Leisure Suit Larry is doing what with the source code of some of his classic games?
He's selling it on eBay.
That's right. Perfect 5 out of 5 for Adam Ellis. Yes, Al Lowe, he is putting a bunch on. 1 and 2 are currently on eBay, both at over $10,000 right now. And they're just old school floppy disks, just like boxes of them.
Can I tell you what I did to cheat here?
Yeah.
Right before the show, I went on Reddit and I sorted by top week. And,
son of a bitch!
Darn it!
Here we go.
Not cool. Oh, man.
Wow. Well,
Yep.
you know
Gonna
what?
have to reformulate
All right,
that
so
segment.
I need to be on another one of these, and I'm going to pull that.
Al Lowe told a YouTuber, this was his great his quote for why he did it. I'm 72 years old. None of my kids want this junk. Which I love.
Fair.
All right. Perfect 5 out of 5 for Adam. Jen, here we go.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait. But before that, let's talk about one more of our sponsors before we get to Jen, and that would be Squarespace. This episode of Glitch Please is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace, it's the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Squarespace offers beautiful, award-winning designer templates. You can create a website or an online store in just minutes. It's an all-in-one platform. There's nothing to install, there's nothing to patch, there's nothing to upgrade ever. It's easy to set up or transfer your domain on Squarespace if you got it somewhere else. Manage all your domain and billing settings in one place. Patrick used Squarespace for his wedding website. That's awesome. It has all the venue information, maps of hotels nearby. Their guests could easily RSVP, and it was super easy to set up. Instead of using a domain with a .com, they were also able to customize their URL to end with .wedding. That's super cool. Start your free trial today at squarespace.com. Go to squarespace.com/glitchplease to get 10% off your first purchase. That's squarespace.com/glitchplease for 10% off your first purchase. Thank you, Squarespace. All right, Jen, are you ready?
Nope.
Number one, let's do this. A new digital game store to rival Steam has been announced by what developer?
Epic!
Hey, that's right.
I got one. I'm not going to be the worst person.
So
Yeah.
Steam does a 70-30 split.
Yes.
Meaning
Yes.
The developer gets 70%, the Steam gets 30%.
Yes.
Epic is doing a
88%.
88-12.
Yes.
Yeah, so they are really trying to. Well, and Steam recently announced some changes for the bigger developers. So if your game sells 10 million, after that 10 million, you get a bigger cut.
That's $10 million, not 10 million units, correct?
$10 million.
Right now, what they just changed is Valve is going to take 30% for sales up to 10 million, 25% for sales between 10 and 50 million, and for over 50 million in sales, it'll only take 20%. So that kind of more benefits the bigger developers more than the indie developers.
It's not a negative change. It's still a positive change overall. Like it was always 70-30. It's not going to change anything for smaller developers.
Right.
But
they're getting the bigger ones are getting a bonus.
Totally.
They don't get.
Totally.
Yeah. And some have been upset and they feel you're not taking care of indie developers. It does seem like Epic's maybe trying to woo them.
I think Epic is subsidizing this with a little bit of Fortnite.
Yes, I think so. They also said they're not developing Unreal Tournament anymore. They paused that and they specifically.
How is that possible?
They said Fortnite.
Hold on, I just got an email about Unreal Tournament.
Oh, I guess you didn't see that on your little search, did you?
No. I did see it. No. I saw an email about Quake Champions. They're still making Quake Champions, y'all.
Perfect. Now, I want this new marketplace from Epic to work because I want indies to be able to do well, and I think they need a competitive marketplace that can rival Steam, that'll actually give them the cuts they deserve on things. But that also is very dependent on a culture shift for gamers who want everything in a centralized place.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like 70-30 made sense like 4 years ago when like you got your game on Steam, that was sort of like you've made it.
That's where everyone is.
Your game is going to be seen. It's going to be on that front new release list for like a week. But now it's like you're on the front release list for either not at all or like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And just more competition. It's never good to have just one person being the big behemoth because they're going to be able to dictate everything. If this takes off, well, then you will probably see Steam respond like, psych, we're going to change it for everybody.
Maybe Steam will have to subsidize their store with another game. That would be great.
Oh,
They've had
maybe a
other
third of
stipulations,
something?
too, where I think it's an 88-12 split for revenue that Epic takes, but also they're going to have like a creator program where you can partner with a creator to like share your game and talk about your game, and the creator gets a portion of those profits. And Epic will cover, I think, the first 5% of that creator revenue sharing for the next 2 years.
Great.
Cool.
Competition is healthy.
Yes.
Jen, Bethesda now says it will send replacement bags made out of what material after some Fallout 76 fans who bought the Power Armor Edition were upset that they got bags made out of nylon.
Yeah, they're getting their canvas bags that were advertised both in picture and in text.
You know what's bullshit is you have to go on a website and be like, yeah, this is my order number. I bought a collect. They won't just automatically send you one.
Which is dumb.
They should just do it.
Even if you bought it directly from their store, like they know.
They got your name and address and everything. Send it out.
I do like that they tried to do this whole cost-saving measure with A, making them nylon to begin with, and B, trying to say like, oh no, we're not going to do it. Like you're going to spend more now making the second bags than if you had just done it correctly the first time.
They also before this they offered 500 atoms,
which is $5.
$5 of in-game currency for their shit game. I'm sorry, it's not a shit game. It's a not great game.
It needs
not
some
great.
help. It needs help.
It needs.
Yeah, this isn't like a good guy thing. This is like a, oh fuck, we did something bad thing.
This is something they should have done from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
And offering $5 to your biggest fans who spent $200.
Terrible slap in the face.
I can't wait for the canvas bags to be shipped out, and then people will be like, oh, the helmet doesn't actually fit in here.
There's going to be something.
I don't want that to happen, but I kind of do want it to happen, just because I want to see what happens at that
that'd be
point.
Great.
I got to make these questions harder. Everybody's nailing
No, I like these. These are good.
Jen, a YouTuber found that. Wait, no. Yeah, I can actually. A YouTuber found that you can get into the PlayStation Classic. That's the new throwback.
Yes.
That you can get into its emulator by doing what?
Connecting a keyboard to it, and then you can see all kinds of.
And doing what?
Oh God. And doing what? It's hitting a fucking button. What? Hitting escape?
Yes, that's right.
What's happening? Thanks for the help.
Screw the PlayStation Classic, because Soulja Boy just released his own retro console. Buy the Soulja Boy console.
He did?
Today, yeah. I think it's just like rebranded like a Chinese emulator box. That'll be gone pretty soon. I'm pretty sure. It'll be a collector's item though, so get on
absolutely, yeah. I think you mean Soulja Boy Tell 'em. It's not just Soulja Boy.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm just a big fan. Next up, THQ Nordic recently acquired the IP of what 90s vehicle combat game? Jen. Uh-oh, here we go.
Oh.
This might be the...
Boy. I have no idea.
Do you know, Adam?
Carmageddon?
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Like I said, Reddit. Thank you.
It is
you guys are great.
Carmageddon, I think it came out in the late 90s. It's been, bounced around a couple times. THQ Nordic is acquiring, all these IPs.
I love vehicular combat so much.
Yeah?
Twisted Metal was everything to me. And first off, fuck Sony for putting Twisted Metal 1.
2 is so much
PS
better.
Classic.
Yeah.
2 is arguably the best one.
Right.
Although I had a soft spot for 3 and 4. 3, I think 3 was the one where Thumper, who was like a pink lowrider, he usually shoots fire. And in 3, he had a physics-based push where you could just throw people off ledges. It was the best. I fucking love those games. And I like Black. I wish I didn't play the most recent one, but it got weird when the most recent one, your driver was no longer tied to a specific car. Mm-hmm. You would just use cars. And that was the whole thing, was the drivers are a personality with their car.
Right.
And they got rid of that. I hope that sort of game can make a comeback, hopefully specifically Twisted Metal, because I have so much reverence for those characters.
Did you play Carmageddon ever?
I think they made a re-release, or they re-released it a couple of years ago.
I never played it. Yeah.
And I tried it, and I was like, this is not for me. Yeah. But I also, there's a lot of good car combat games back then, like Vigilante 8.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's also Interstate 89 or 85 or something like that. There's a couple real good car combat games. Twisted Metal still top of the top.
I feel like I also just saw that there's going to be a battle royale car combat game.
Yeah.
I forgot how to use words for a second there.
I saw that and I was like, okay, this might be the first battle royale game I play.
Okay.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
Car combat is the best.
Last question. Okay. Director Rupert Wyatt says he's leaving the upcoming Showtime TV series based on what classic franchise?
Halo!
Hey! That's right. He blamed scheduling, so we don't know what's going on now with the. They have been talking about making this for
very long time,
for like at least 4 years.
Yes, easily.
But yeah, they had a showrunner, they had a director, and now he's like, peace, I'm out. I'm just a fan now.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of fell off Halo, but like lately I've been getting that itch to go back to 1 to play through it, and then 2 I wish I could play multiplayer. I guess I could go and play the Master Chief Collection, but
it's definitely something that I think could make a decent live action movie. Yeah. There's like a cool story there.
It has a lot of potential to it that I think is, I don't want to say is easy to capitalize on, but it has so many of the elements already in it that it should translate relatively easily to that kind of format if they can just get somebody and get their shit together and have schedules and all of that to make it actually happen.
They made what, Forward Unto Dawn, which was like a short film.
Yes.
That was really good. I think it needed a little work in terms of it looked a little goofy seeing Master Chief run around.
Yeah.
But I think they can make it happen.
It's going to depend on the execution. I mean, like everything, which no video game movie has really gotten totally right yet.
I want it to happen, and I want it to be good just to prove that you can do it, that you can make a video game, movie, series, whatever. Didn't a good one
just
not
come out?
Constantly just a joke.
Didn't we just have a good video game movie?
Did we?
Or is it like a mediocre?
It's called Warcraft. Yes,
that movie was good. Oh, man, I wish it was.
I don't know. Was there something else? I don't know.
I feel like a video game movie just recently came out, but I could be wrong.
Ben, Mr. Know-It-All.
Yeah. A few games have come out, or movies, like Tomb Raider came out, Rampage came out.
Rampage, what a terrible looking movie.
None of these.
Oh my God.
That's like all the video game movies that came out this year. There might be more, but.
Okay, I think Tomb Raider was okay.
Yeah. Detective Pikachu comes out next year. Maybe that's, I don't know.
I didn't think that looked bad. I mean, it was different, but I thought it looked all right.
I'm into it. Yeah. I mean, the Mr. Mime, the skin texture was just a little made me uncomfortable. Yeah.
Furry ass Pikachu.
Just on our weekly reminder: the 3 video game movies coming out next year are Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Monster Hunter. So we'll see how all of those movies.
Oh, I'm super excited for the Monster Hunter.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weren't people mad at first because the first shot was all them like looking like they were in Desert Storm or something and there were no monsters, and then they released another one like, no, here's a cool looking X. It'll be fine. All right, well that is Adam Ellis as our champion.
I got 4 though. That's a lot better than I expected.
There are no losers here.
And I didn't look at Reddit right before it started.
I don't get all this shit from Reddit. This is combined over weeks and weeks of, days and days of reporting.
Minutes and minutes.
I'll take it as a 3.5 because I got a little assist on the 1 question, but still a very respectable. I was very convinced I was going to be the solid 0 and never allowed to come back here.
I think you did fantastic.
That's right. All right, well, that is all the Glitch Please we have for you today. Stick around, of course, for our first members. We have a little something special for you. It's called New Game Plus. That's where we take questions from the audience. We have a lot of fun. If you're not a first member, I'm pretty sure you can get a free trial right now, free 7-day trial, so sign up for that. You can check us out on New Game Plus. We will see you there. Have a great week.
I'm going to be gone.
What?
I'm going to be gone for like 2 weeks. I'll be back.
Oh,
don't miss me.
You can't talk about Smash next week?
No, I'm going to be in New Zealand from the 7th to the 20th. And then I'll be back after that. I don't know if we're doing a Christmas episode or what, but
we'll do something.
Yeah, maybe I'll make a white beard and a red hat.
Yes.
That would be right. All right. Well, Adam won't be here next week, but I'll be here, and some form of us will be here. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jen. You had a great first.
Thank you. I greatly enjoyed it.
Good. I'm glad. All right. Everybody else, we'll see you on New Game Plus.
You know you want to click that dirty link. Do it. Now.